everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, definitely comment, share the video. Somebody needs to hear this dude's story right here. I'm going to let him introduce himself. This man did over 25 years in federal prison. Man, he's got a crazy story, man. Sentenced to life, but I'm going to let him tell you who he is, where he's from, and how his situation came about. PJ, tell the people about yourself, man. Tell them who you are, man.
Well, I'm from, name's PJ. Most people know me by that. I'm from Baltimore, South Baltimore, and born and raised there. And I went to jail. When I first went to jail at 18, and then wound up catching this federal sentence when I was 27 and got a life sentence.
Life sentence for a nonviolent drug crime?
Making a verbal agreement conspiracy. No drugs, no phone taps, no controlled buy. Just the word of a drug kingpin in prison to get time off. He testified and put me away, and he got out in 2002.
You're from Maryland, home of the DMI, right?
Yeah.
Dead Men Incorporated. Hey, listen, man. I know when you were younger, too, you had got shot in the face, right? In the beginning of this case, something happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was want to make a drug deal in Florida, and the plan was to kill me down there, but I wind up leaving and getting away, and I just had a gut feeling, and I left without doing anything. And later on, when I did meet up, it's when it went down. Put the gun in my head, pulled the trigger, and luckily for me, he didn't have a bullet in the chamber. And I was driving the car, and that's what saved me. When I tried to crash the car, he took his eyes off me where he was shooting. Only two of the bullets got me, and they got me in the face, jaw, split my nose, knocked my teeth out.
What kind of gun they hit you with?
.380. My gun broke at the gun store that night.
Wow. So they tried to rob you. What were they trying to rob you for? How much?
$180,000.
$180,000. You almost lost your life for $180,000, right? And people watching this video, they're like, man, $180,000, that's a lot of money. But really, considering your life is on the line, it's really not, is it?
No, absolutely not.
So you end up with a life sentence. You go to prison. How much time did you do straight?
29.
29 years straight, man. Wow. I want people to think about that, PJ. I want them to think about what it's like. Some of these dudes right now are watching this show. They're 29 years old, right? I want them to realize, man, as long as you've been alive, this man was sitting in a prison cell. And I know there were times, man, when you probably thought you weren't getting out, right?
Oh, most of the time. Up until 2018 December, when they passed that first step back, they said we're going to help everybody, but I couldn't see how it was going to help everybody because I know they changed the law on that statute to 25, but they didn't make it retroactive. And almost 4 years later, they still ain't make it retroactive. You still got people sitting in there with the same statute, the same time as I did, as I had it.
And I remember you were writing me from prison on the email, and your sister had reached out to me. That's how me and you ended up getting in contact and meeting. I was never in prison with you, but I remember you writing me on the email, being a little bit sarcastic, tell me how this affects me. And I tried to break it down to you, man, and we were beefing a little bit, and I was trying to help you a little bit. I'm not getting...
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you did try your best. I mean,
I'm not taking credit for getting you out of jail. I didn't write your motion, but
right.
I was definitely trying to push for you a little bit and trying to help you and explain things to you. But you were that type of dude, man. You've been in jail 29 years, and I could tell, man, when you were writing, like, damn, dude, I need help, man. Please, man. And I was trying to help you the best I could. But anyway, you end up getting out on the First Step Act, right, after 29 years in prison. I know the people want to know, what was it like to walk out, PJ?
It was snowing that day, and my family wanted to pick me up, but I didn't want them to pick me up. I wanted to do this on my own. I wanted to walk out, and I got in the cab, waited about an hour in the snow, and got in the cab, went down to the train station, and caught a train, and I got up on a train platform, and I had to get a ticket. I didn't even know how to get a ticket. They had these machines up there, wasn't nobody there. Luckily, 10 minutes before it got there, I figured out how to get that damn ticket. And I just wanted to leave. I just want to have some time to myself, till I got from Connecticut down to where I met my family at on that subway train. I got to New York, running around there for a minute before I got on the Amtrak.
Yeah.
So just spend a little time with myself, and just putting that back behind me,
Definitely understandable. I'm getting a call right now from a prison, man. Someone's trying to call me, but I can't. I'm not answering the phone at this time, man. So listen, you get out of prison, you walk out. What prison did you get? What prison were you released from?
Danbury.
Danbury, Connecticut. But you've been in some tough places over the years, right?
Yeah. I first went to Lewisburg in the early '90s, and basically from what you heard, because you came in later, you know what it was like. Back then, prison was a lot different. Back then, you didn't have all the gangs, but you had some, and you had the basic ones, and a person could stand on his own 2 feet. And it was different.
Lewisburg was a lot of violence over there, right? Were you there when all the
Yeah, all the killings. Yeah, I was there.
You ever seen anybody get killed in prison, PJ?
Yeah, a couple of my friends I seen while I was in the same unit with got killed because they thought he was somebody who he wasn't.
Where was that at? Tell us about it. I want to know about
Lewisburg. He was a young kid. He had 7 years, and his name was Tennessee, and he was in his early 20s, about 25 years old, doing a 7-year sentence because when he was in the FCI, they found a knife in his cell, and they gave him extra 7 years and shipped him to Lewisburg. And so when another white guy got killed because he turned Muslim.
I want to know about Tennessee. What did they kill Tennessee for?
Because of that.
Oh, because of
you had two people kill a white Muslim, and then you had retaliation in another block that happened in B block, and you had retaliation in D block where the Muslims retaliated and went after Tennessee because he had a shaved head. Nothing more. Even though Tennessee ain't with nobody, they just figured he had a shaved head, and he was one of the people that had something to do with related to or part of that group.
Crazy, huh? So Tennessee loses life. He's got nothing to do with this situation. Just a bald head white dude, some retaliation, shaves his head, and he gets murdered.
Yeah, he said to me when I went to the movies, he said, before it all happened, he said, man, I shaved my head. People looking at me funny. I said, I ain't nothing. So just because he shaved his head, he was assumed that he was a skinhead or something, or a gang member, and they targeted him because the guy that was in the cell with him, he had long hair and a beard, and they told him to get out the cell.
Didn't even have a chance, right?
No, he had about 10 people on him.
Unbelievable. What was the worst prison you ever been in?
Probably Beaumont.
You were down there at bloody Beaumont when they were getting busy down there, huh?
Yeah. There was a lot going on. Prisons were overcrowded at the time. Even though Lewisburg wasn't what it was, the violence there was usually necessary, because somebody did something.
Yeah.
But Beaumont, it just was happening all the time, 5-6 times a day.
Crazy place, man. What year were you in? What year did you leave Beaumont?
I left there in 2002. I was in the hole during the 2001 terrorist attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much early 2001.
You ever have to put in any work anywhere you've been?
Just about every place I've been.
Tell people what putting in work is.
Well, my kind of work I put in was my own beats. You know what I mean? I never had to put work in for a group or the white people or not like that. All my stuff was me beefing with people, you know what I mean? Yeah. Putting in work when you handle your business. But usually that kind of stuff. I kind of like missed that wave almost. You know what I mean? Oh, it's your time up. You got to handle this guy. I kind of missed that wave. That was a wave that I kind of missed. You
Yeah.
know, because of where I went at, and it's kind of followed behind me almost. Because it wasn't like that at Lewisburg. It wasn't like that when I got to Lompoc. You handled your own business, or you was part of a group that handled business.
I mean, I see you're a younger white dude. I don't know how it was all, back then, but younger white dude out of Baltimore. Did you run with a car? Were you ever in a car anywhere?
I mean, I kicked it with my homeboys when I seen them, but I pretty much did my own thing. I messed with good people, you know, wherever they were from. It didn't matter to me if they was white or black or whatever. They were good people, then I messed with them.
I understand. So you're one of them dudes who's kind of like, I ain't with this car shit.
No, I ain't with no car. I do my own thing, how I want to do it. You know what I mean? And that's the way it was. And one of my homeboys just come home from a life sentence, Chief, from Baltimore. And as soon as he got home, he was at the gym, and he ran into somebody that knew me, and they called me up. And I got to get his number again because I lost it. But because I didn't program my phone right. But, you got guys that are getting out from the 90s and on, that know me, and in prison, people are gonna, you know as well as I do. In prison, a good name travels, and a bad name travels. And I was lucky to have a good name throughout the prison. I can go to anybody, get whatever I want, and that's why it's so blessed, I guess. I have a guardian angel, whatever, because I'm glad that I didn't have to, kill nobody or do something like that, because I would have never got out.
You know what the term burned out is? When people are like, man, dude's burned out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they say that about me, or they say I was crazy or whatever. Because I'll be the only white guy, 12 black guys shooting dice, running CeeLo games, and you know how that goes. Or running a table.
Well, that's why I'm asking you that. You know what I mean? I want to know, do you think 29 years in prison burned you out a little bit?
Sort of, maybe.
Like I say, man, it shows real and raw. I'm going to tell you why I asked you that, Paul. Because you talk slow. That's why I'm asking you. And I can see it. I think prison had a profound effect on you, man. I can see it. I'm talking to you. I see it.
Yeah, probably did.
I think it did, man. But you're out here and you're free now, man. What was the hardest thing for you to adjust to when you got out here after 29 years in prison? It's like the Shawshank Redemption. I always use that reference because when I talk to OGs, man, it just got out after 25, 30, 40 years, right? What did it feel like to walk out and look around? I mean, I did 17 years, 5 months, 21 days, and I know what it felt like for me, but what did it feel like for you?
I was like surprised, everybody looking down at their phone and wearing tight pants.
The tight pants thing is outrageous, man. I'll never wear tight pants, bro.
No, I got the same pants on that I left in.
You still got your clothes?
Oh, no, I just got some new ones.
Oh.
Same one. The camouflage pants.
Oh, that's what you were rocking when you were out there?
Yeah, they back in style, though.
Hey, man, as long as you're happy and you feel good about it, that's all that matters, right?
But they're tight. They wearing them tight, though. I can't wear them tight like that.
No, I'm not wearing no tight pants, bro. I feel the same way. What was it like? Because a lot of people might want to know this too, man. 29 years in prison. What was it like, man, to meet a woman, man? To touch a woman again? I seen you on Facebook with pictures of a pretty chick, man. That's why I'm asking you that.
It was different, definitely. Yeah. But, so far past that, you know what I mean? After doing all that time without it, I could take it or leave it,
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it don't mean that. It don't, after about 5 years, you go through all that, maybe 10, you're still thinking about all that. But after so long, you know what I mean? It don't even make a difference.
And I don't mean sexually, man. Just coming out of prison and being able to kiss a woman, touch her on the face or to feel her hands. What did that, did that feel good to you, man? Again?
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? I don't think I enjoyed it and took it in as much as I should have. Enjoyed the moment as much as I should have. It's always like rushing around.
Hey, man, 100% understandable. People don't know what it's like, man, to be in there. I I can't tell people what it's like to be in there for 29 years and to walk out. I can tell them what it's like to be in there for 18, almost 18. But you know what? I think the 18 hits a little different than the 29. Just my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. It might hit harder.
I think it does. I see you got that picture of that can of Campbell's soup behind you. What's up with that picture, man?
Oh, that's my sister got that.
I thought you should have had a picture of a ramen noodle back there.
Yeah, I got them. I ain't giving up on them.
Yeah. So anyway, Paul, man, what are you doing now with your life? Because I see you posting pictures with nice cars and doing good things. What are you doing with your life?
Just selling cars right now.
Selling cars. Let me ask you this. You ever miss prison?
No, I don't even think about it.
You don't even think about prison.
No.
You don't think about any of the dudes you left behind?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was working on that today. I was trying to contact one of the guys, and there's a guy named Jeremy Turner. Remember, okay, when we first filed this compassionate release, I told him about it.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, it ain't a pipe dream. You ain't gonna get out on it." He's got the same case as mine, but better. And he said, if it was worth anything, my lawyer would know about it. And he ran it by his lawyer, and they didn't do nothing. And he's still sitting in the same place. And I wanted to write him and touch base with you on it. You know, he's got the money to pay for it. He's got, he's got some more wells out there, and he should definitely get you on the job.
What do you appreciate most, man, now that you're free?
Be able to come and go, wake up when you want, go to sleep when you want, eat when you want. Watch TV, any time of the day, night. All the little things that most people take for granted.
And when you were in prison, man, you were a hustler, right, in prison?
Yeah.
What type of things you do to get money in there, man?
Man, what didn't I do? I loaned stamps out, basically loaning money. I booked bets on run the ticket, which is basically taking bets for sports, basketball, college football, pro football, and rent a store, and run poker tables, run blackjack tables, run bingo, ran horse racing. If it was money in it, I did it. I ran dice games. I ran CeeLo games. Different prisons, had different hustles available. And, sometimes I'm in the hole, and the only thing to do is even sell tobacco or sell the food at the bag lunches and trade them off and try to build it up like that. I just did it as a game to see if I can do it. And then I worked the trash crew, and it was kind of ironic. I'm working the trash crew, picking up trash, on the weekend and stuff. And I remember what my mother said. She said, if you don't change your ways, you're going to go to prison and you're going to be a trash man. And I remembered that. So I called her up and said, Mom, I'm in prison and I'm a trash man, just like you said.
Sad.
But what we used to do is pick up the trash at the lieutenant's office, and they would have discarded cigarettes in there. So what we do is we get those discarded cigarettes, and I could probably make $200 on a Saturday, and $200 more on a Sunday just off of the tobacco they throw it away, whether it be chew or discarded cigarettes.
That's one of the nastiest things I ever seen in federal prison, man.
Yeah, definitely is. But when you ain't got no hustle coming in and all the other hustles are burned out, 40 books of stamps on a Saturday and 40 books of stamps on a Sunday came in handy for messing with that bullshit.
Well, I'm sure. Everybody's got a hustle. What are the best hustles in prison, man?
Probably poker table and running a ticket.
That's it? What about tattooing and legal work?
Oh, hell yeah. You got definitely is good if you know how to do it and you like that type of work and you're good at it.
Yeah.
That I was never good at that type of work. So, but that's definitely definitely can pay off.
Most dangerous gang in federal prison. Who are they? I say the Southsiders, man.
Southside?
Mexican Mafia. Serenos.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You know, uh, definitely.
Let me ask you this, because you say you're a hustler in prison, right? You ever got yourself in a jam, Paul, where you were like, damn, were you thinking like, man, something bad's going to happen out of this?
No, I can't say I have. Luckily, I'm glad I can't. You know.
Ticket never got hit and you're like, wow, I got to pay all this money out and I ain't got it. And
No, that can happen, but I always made sure that I had enough to cover what hits I got.
yeah.
But there was a time that I made a mistake on the ticket and handed it out, and I thought I was going to have to pay out quite a bit of money, but I had it under control, and if I had to pay it out, I could have covered it. But I've seen people that reached that point and couldn't.
I've seen it plenty of times myself, man, where you just like, dudes check in, they were the man on the compound, ticket gets hit. I seen a ticket hit in Lee County, USP Lee, dude got hit, he was from PA, for like 20, 30 grand. He had about 15,000 in stamps. He cashed it. You might remember it was the week when Miami, I think the Dolphins were Monday Night Football, they were getting hammered, or Sunday night, and they came back and they won, and that destroyed the ticket. But I remember that happened. That was bad. That was a bad day.
I've seen that happen a lot too.
Check this out. You had a life sentence, right? What kept you going every day, man?
Just getting up and training and working on what I enjoy, which was working out at the time. And then when I get transferred someplace that didn't have weights, then I'm just working on getting money. But I try to make money so I can try to get a lawyer to get myself out in the early years. But I trusted the wrong people on the street. And most of the time, what kept me going was revenge. As long as I'm living, I'm in the game, and I got a chance at it.
So you felt like you wanted revenge. That's what pushed you.
Yeah, revenge on the people that crossed me up that night and shot me up and all that. That revenge kept me going for almost 27 years of that 29. And the last 2 years is what I pretty much, changed my thinking on that.
Thank God you changed, right?
Yeah, because then doors started to open.
I can relate, because I'm going to keep it real with you, man. There were times where revenge kept me going too. Revenge kept me going too. And eventually, man, I gave up on revenge. And I changed my life, man. And I'm just thankful that I did. Thankful that I'm here. Thankful that I'm free. I'm sure you feel the same way, right?
Yes, and just get out and make the most of what I got, and that's what I've been doing.
How old are you today, Paul?
I'll be 57 in a few more months.
57. Went to prison at 29 and came home at 56 or 57?
I went to prison at 27, came home when I was 56.
Think about that. I want people watching this video to think about that. That's a long time. For a nonviolent drug offense, the federal government will put your lights out. No remorse. Right, PJ? They don't care.
Definitely. But, what people don't realize is most of the drugs that came in this country were brought in by the CIA. That's another subject for another day, but, you probably know the players behind it. I know the players behind it. I know some of the people that were involved in it that got out because of it. Freeway Rick being one of them.
Yeah.
Rick Ross.
Did you know him when you were younger?
Yeah. And he was working. That's the show that Snowfall's made after him.
I love that show. It's a very good show. So listen, before we close the show, right? Is there anything you want to say to the people?
Contact your lawmakers and let them make that First Step Act retroactive. It's been long enough. 2018 when they first passed it, and you still got people sitting in prison with unjust sentences that they changed the law on, and you still got people doing life sentences for weed without even weed in the case. Just they were sentenced to life because of weed conspiracy. No drugs, no controlled buys, doing life sentence for weed, and weed is legal in most of the states, and in the states that they even got arrested in. So you got some unjust things going on that the only way it's going to change is hopefully the media picks it up. Hopefully the people listening contacts their lawmaker and bring changes to it. The people that are sitting in prison for life and long sentences for 40 years, 30 years for marijuana, they need to have their sentence time served. And those people that are sitting in prison for gun stacking and the life statute that got changed to 25, like mine, they need to make those laws retroactive. And Biden said that they were going to do all this, and Kamala Harris said they ain't did nothing. They ain't did nothing. No laws passed in 2018. So those laws need to be made retroactive in that First Step Act.
For sure. And I'm going to ask you one last thing before we close. You were out here. You were obviously getting money. I know your story. I read your case. Back then, you were a serious drug dealer, man, who made serious money. What message would you give yourself after realizing that you got a life sentence and you lost the best years of your life? What would you tell your younger self, man?
Money isn't worth. It's better to work for it and figure out a way like that than do it illegally, because that legal money like that ain't going to work, because it's only going to lead to two places: prison or death. Very few people are able to get in the game and get out, but it does happen. But they're far and few.
That's it, man. Far and few and in between. And I hope people that are watching this video, you get the message, man, because your life is worth more than spending 29 years locked in a cage like an animal where you can't decide when you want to eat, when you want to drink, when you want to go outside. Someone else is going to tell you how to do that. So I hope that you get the message. And I hope that, when you get that message, it's not too late. I hope you're not watching this video a year from now on a cell phone in a prison cell. And with that, we're going to close the show. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.